Why would a family choose to homeschool when there is a public school right down the street that taxes already pay for? Why would we decide to do such a thing when there is another way of educating a child? Today I'm going to talk about my family's top 4 reasons for why we left the public school system. But before we get started, welcome to my channel. My name is Leigh, and right here on this channel I share all about homeschooling tips and tricks, our curriculum, my family's decision to homeschool, why we do such a thing, and how it actually plays out in the day-to-day. If you haven't already and you're interested in doing so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get started now. Today we're going to talk about my family's top 4 reasons for why we left the public school system. A little bit of a backstory. I went to public school, my husband went to a private school, and it was really all that we knew about how education could take place. And so when my oldest was old enough to go off to kindergarten, we did so, enrolled her in the public school, put her on the bus, did all of those things. She attended for a few years. My middle child, he attended for 1 year in kindergarten, and my youngest never went to public school because at that time we had decided to make the switch to homeschooling. Now, I do want to preface this. We have lived in 2 different states and lived in 3 different school districts. And we have had nothing but really great relationships with the various people that we've interacted with at the different school districts, because as a homeschooler, there are certain things that you need to do. Now that my kids are older in high school, we've had to go over to our local public school, which they've never even stepped foot in because we've moved states. And go over for things like working papers, PSATs, that kind of stuff. So here and there we've had interaction, and it's been nothing but pleasant. I have nothing to say bad about any of those people that we have interacted with. So when I say, why we've chosen not to participate in the public school system, it has to do with the entire system, not necessarily an individual person. And this just comes from our very own experience. Again, after going through, public and private school system, myself or my husband and I, and then our kids enrolling for a few years, we just kind of started to think about what we really wanted for our family, and what my husband and I wanted for our family was different than what we were going to get if we continued with our kids enrolled in the public school system. So let's get started. Our top 4 reasons for why we left the public school system and have decided to homeschool. We are currently in our 11th year of homeschooling, and these 4 reasons have actually become more and more solidified every single year that we have homeschooled. They were just a thought, an idea. They were what we had hoped, an ideal that we were going for when we decided to withdraw our children from the public school system. But as time has gone by, these have become even more solid. These are the definite reasons for why we homeschool. Now, there could be a ton of other reasons that are small, but these are the 4 main ones. So let's get started here. Number 1 is time. We wanted to be able to control our family's time. Now, yeah, there's things that go on. My husband has to work, and the kids are enrolled in activities, but those are activities we choose to participate in. My husband's job is something that, he needs and that he also chooses to participate in. So when it comes to time, I honestly I'm a little bit of a free bird, and I like to just make up our own schedule. We like being independent. We like the freedom. Yeah, there's things that we need to do, and there's certain time constraints on things. But overall, in whatever season in life we are, we get to decide. We can go on vacation whenever we want. We don't have to, I know that kids in public school systems don't have to, it's not that they can't go on vacation, but we go on vacation, we bring no homework. There's nobody to sign any papers to allow us to go on vacation. We don't have to clear it with anybody. We can just plan our vacations whenever we want. We have actually vacationed a few times in September, and it's been absolutely wonderful. We have all the places to ourselves. It's like us and typically like older people, like grandparent age, and we just have a really great time because the weather is still beautiful in the Northeast, and we can get out there and vacation whenever we want. So just overall with time, it's not even necessarily just with vacations. I get to decide when our first day of school is. I get to decide when any of our breaks are. I get to decide when the end of the year is, and we can be really flexible with that. My older son started a lawn mowing business, and he wasn't ready to start school when I normally would start school in August. So I started my youngest because he was available to do so, and just kind of pushed off when my other one, when he was able to actually start doing school. He did a little bit before that, but when we decided, when he was done with the lawn mowing, when the season was over, he could then start full time. So just overall, I can decide if we're going to start school at 8 o'clock in the morning or if we're going to start school at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Our time is our own. Every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, we get to decide. I honestly was just really tired of being told what days we could have off, what days our family was allowed to. I guess allowed to, that we were able to go and do family things, and we don't have to wait for the weekends to have family time. We can do that during the week. Just overall, I enjoy being independent. We enjoy our freedom. We enjoy being able to come up with what we want. Our time is absolutely our own. We get to dictate our schedule, our routine, our rhythm, whatever it is that we want to do. Yeah, there's still things we need to get done, but we get to decide how that's gonna look and what exactly that's gonna look like. I'm not told that my kids have to be on the bus at a certain time. I'm not told my kids have to be at school at a certain time, that I have to have a note in order to have them excuse. Well, that's another rabbit trail right there, but I don't have to have a note, for why they're absent from school because they were feeling a little under the weather. We can travel when we want, just all of those things. So the number one reason is time, which goes along with being independent and having the freedom to dictate what we want our family time to look like. The second reason we left the public school system is after doing some research on the actual public school system. Now, I said earlier, this doesn't have anything to do with people. I have interacted with some really wonderful people who've been very helpful and that we've really enjoyed at the public school system, again, in 3 different school districts that we lived in, and never had any problems. So this doesn't necessarily have to do with them, it has to do with the system. If you take the time, and I'll drop some resources in the description below, if you take the time to really understand the basis of the public school system, you might be surprised, you might be shocked, and you might not have a problem with it, and that's your own personal decision. My husband and I actually had a problem with it. We had an issue with the underlying philosophy, the basis of the public school system. And you could say, well, yeah, that's not really, here at my school, but everybody says that doesn't happen at my school. That's not what it's like at my school. So, I mean, there has to be some schools that it's like. So we just decided that we were not interested in being part of a system that we did not agree with the bottom line, with the foundation, and with the goals, and with the philosophy behind that system. It was not something that aligned with our beliefs, with our faith, and what we wanted for our children and how we wanted to raise them. So I encourage you, if this is kind of making you think and question a little bit and wonder, check out those resources that I'm going to list in the description below and do your own research. I encourage you to do it with an open mind. And again, you might not agree with our decision based upon what we learned, and that's fine, because we get to choose. Here in the United States, we get to choose. But I really think that everybody should understand the basis and the philosophy of any system that they are going into. And once you understand that, if you choose to go into it, that's fine. That is your choice to do so. We just did our own research and decided not to partake in that and to enroll in that. And that's been a wonderful thing. And I will fight for our right to homeschool for a very long time. And I really look forward to our children homeschooling someday too. They say they're going to, but again, it's their decision. Everything is, when it comes to education, how you educate your child is your decision. But I really secretly, and I am openly praying that they continue the tradition of homeschooling and become second-generation homeschoolers. The third reason why we left the public school system and now homeschool is because I wanted to be able to control what my child was learning, what my children were learning, what they were being taught, how they were being taught. Part of the reason why we homeschool is because of our faith, and we wanted to incorporate that into every aspect of their life that we can, and we wanted them to see that faith can be lived out and it can be brought into every single subject. You study health, we can bring our faith into that. Science, we can bring our faith into that. Now, I know not everybody homeschools for those, for those reasons because of faith, but we do. That was a big reason. We wanted to incorporate Bible curriculum. We wanted to incorporate Bible stories and memory verses and all of those things, be able to have those conversations with our kids every day, day in and day out. But I also wanted to be able to decide what grammar they're going to learn. I wanted to decide, what kind of writing assignments, and wanted to have control over that because these are our children and we have the right to be able to decide those types of things, what they are taught, how they are taught. So that is why number 3 reason, again, these are in no particular order, is because we wanted to be able to control what they're taught, wanted to I'm able to pick the exact science curriculum that they are taught. I can pick everything that I want. I have the opportunity to go and look through all of those books. And I also have the opportunity to ditch any of those if it's not working for us, or if it's just something that just doesn't jive with my family. I am able to then pivot, to change, and to change course. I don't have to meet any certain requirements, such as in the public school law, where you have to follow certain curriculum, certain guidelines, and everything is spelled out to like every small little detail. I can choose the curriculum that we want to use, and we can use it in whichever way that we feel is appropriate for our kids. We can change things out however we want. So again, number 3 is just that I wanted to be able to, well, I say I, my husband and I, but I do most of the work and he just trusts me with what I choose to use to educate them. But again, wanted to be able to choose the type of curriculum and how that even looks. I wanted to be able to cater a curriculum to a child. If a child has a certain learning style, want to be able to find a science curriculum that then would go well with them and they could learn and maximize their potential in their education. So that's why number 3 is because we wanted to be able to control the education of our children when it came to the types of curriculum and what exactly they are taught, and wanting to incorporate our faith into all of those different subjects. The 4th reason why we decided to homeschool, and this one has definitely become more solidified. We have finished 10 years of homeschooling and are now in our 11th year. I have graduated my oldest child, and the 4th reason is because we want a stronger family bond, one that can really only happen over lots of time and shared experiences. I don't have my kids scattered during the day. We are all here. Now they're a little bit older, they're working and things are a little bit different, but when they were definitely younger, we were always together. We had shared experiences. They were able to encourage one another. They were able to see the down days that each other had. They were able to see the up days and celebrate the wins and to, you know, console one another with the losses. So overall, this has really given our family a bond that I know would not have happened if we did not homeschool. Because I have 3 kids, 3 different ages. At times I would have been in 3 different schools, leaving at 3 different times, coming home at 3 different times. Just having the weekends wasn't enough for our family to be able to really feel like we have bonded well together. My kids really have become each other's best friends. I mean, they argue from time to time, but overall, I know that they will have each other's back. I really just felt like it was important for us to set them up to have strong bonds that will last them their entire lifetime. Friends will come and go, but they will have each other. Whether they move to different states and live farther apart, I want them to know that they have this bond from these years together of living life together day in and day out, that they know that each other have each other back and that they can count and depend upon one another. They know that if everything else in life falls apart, that we as a family have each other. So the 4th reason is because we just really felt like, now we know that people say, well, quality over quantity. I don't believe that it's either or. I believe that it's both. I believe that, you know, you can have lots of quantity and everybody's sitting there on their phones and not paying attention. That's not really bonding. That's not really time together. But there's a balance. You can have quality time as well. I also don't think that if you have 1 quality day a week or 1 quality day a month, that that's enough for a family bond. Like, we do everything together. We are a part of each other's lives, and every part of our lives, of our each individual of all 5 of us, overlaps greatly every single day. Now, you know, we've done so much together. It's not just the education together. It's also the fact that my kids would be home. I did the grocery shopping when they were little with them. We just did all of those small little things together. And yeah, there's lots of fun memories that we have and some that we laugh about that weren't really funny at the time. But overall, my husband and I felt that in order to have a strong bond for our family unit was that we needed to be together. We needed to experience and live life together day in and day out. And homeschooling was the answer to that. So there you have it, our top 4 reasons for why we homeschool. Number 1, we wanted time to ourselves. We wanted to be able to control the time of this season of our life, the day in and the day out. We wanted freedom and independence. Number 2 is that we didn't want to be involved in a system that we did not agree with the philosophy and the foundation of that system. Number 3 is that we wanted to choose and we wanted to be able to decide what curriculum and how and, you know, in what way, what manner our children were being educated. And number 4 reason was because we wanted a stronger bond, and we saw that by homeschooling, by being together, was really the only way that that was going to happen. Now, again, I know some people, you know, might not like this video, might get a little upset about it, and that's okay, because we're doing what we feel is best for our family. You do what is best for your family. However, if these 4 things are kind of, you're like, I hadn't really thought of it like that. I would encourage you to check out, look into homeschooling some more. If you are thinking about homeschooling or brand new to homeschooling, I actually have a course that will get you all set up with homeschooling. We'll go into every single thing together. It is a coaching program, and we'll work through all the different parts of homeschooling, and we'll tailor it exactly towards your family, because every single family that homeschools is different. Every family in general is different. If you're interested in that, there is a link in the description below. I would love to connect with you and walk alongside you as you begin your homeschooling journey. If any of these reasons for why we left the public school system resonate with you, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But also, if you homeschool and you have other reasons besides these 4, I would love to hear those reasons from you as well. Leave that in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.